other sort of mini rant I wanted to include here is that when it comes to this concept of mastery, and one of being a master of imagination, which is the name of my website, or a master of manifesting, however you want to think about it. Well, the word master to me does have a heavy implication of a movement through states, of a progress, of a journey, of a lot of, well, for lack of a better word, time spent, invested really on developing a skill set. So yes, the being who you really are is God the Father, is already master of masters, but you're human right now. You abandoned being God to experience being human, yet you're still God, right? So with that, Neville calls it the limit of contraction, humanity. There's impositions upon there's a frame in place there that you're slowly pushing beyond, and you're slowly remembering all the ways that you can create, all the talents that you have, and they're dormant. You're waking them all up. So it is a process. And what's my point here? My point is this idea that there's going to be a fantastical, you wake up one day and you're instantly a master and you're manifesting everything you want. Well, when Neville talks about that, he's talking about the resurrection. He's talking about after the promise. Will you experience in this life? Possibly. I don't think so. I think what you're going to experience, what's reasonable to experience, and look, if you figure out how to adjust your assumptions beyond it, let me know because I'd like to do it. And I have done it in some ways, but for the most part, what you're going to experience is a gradual adjustment, a gradual attainment of various skills. Now, of course, you're just remembering things, but it's going to feel like, when you're building up muscle or when you're learning a specific skill, like when it comes to some, spatial talent, like learning an instrument or learning how to sculpt or learning how to weld or whatever. There's a process of refinement, of getting gradually better at these things. Like to me, the prodigy is a myth. Like even a prodigy has thousands of hours of practice before anyone calls them a prodigy. It's just that they get that practice done at a very young age and they have a little more direct access to that latent talent than most people have. So it seems very instant, but it's not. There's an iteration going on. And the same is going to be true when it comes to you using your divine imagination. It's going to be an iterative process. You're going to go through a bunch of states before you truly are a master of imagination. And I feel like, yes, one part of that could be simply affirming I am a master of imagination, having scenes around that. However, don't be surprised if that unfolding is 30 years. Okay? That's pretty normal and natural because for most people to attain any sort of mastery in any other field takes that amount of time. And I do believe that there are people who are already masters of imagination who know nothing about the spiritual aspect of it. And I'm speaking mostly of people who are, artists in some way, or who are just really skilled at one particular field to where they can visualize it at extreme depth. Nikola Tesla was that way when it came to his inventions. But they just don't necessarily know much about the spiritual side of it or don't know how far it extends. Hey, Saber King, how's it going? You joined at a pretty good time. I'm just wrapping up this rant and we're about to launch into today's reading. So today we're doing Walter Lanyon. I'm mostly gonna do this book, Your